I need your guidance, he begins, his voice filled with a sense of urgency he can't fully explain. Baba Kwasi raises an eyebrow, his gaze curious but calm. Guidance? And what do you think I can teach you? He asks, a gentle smile playing at his lips. In the heart of Accra, Nuru stands at the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse, gazing out over the city's flickering lights. He should feel proud, even triumphant. As a billionaire and one of the most powerful men in the country, he has everything most people could ever want. An empire of businesses, a mansion lined with artwork, cars parked in rows. Yet his heart feels hollow, like an endless void consuming him from within. Each day is the same, a relentless march through success without purpose, like he's trapped in a gilded cage. Sir, his assistant, Kofi, interrupts hesitantly, sensing the tension. Are you all right? Nuru waves him off, his jaw clenched. I'm fine, Kofi. Leave me. The assistant nods, backing away, as Nuru continues staring out the window, his mind in turmoil. He's surrounded by people who praise him, yet they're all just echoes of what he wants to hear. There's no one in his life who challenges him, no one who truly understands him. His wealth has built walls instead of bridges, and he feels more isolated than ever. That evening, restless and desperate for something he can't name, Nuru slips into the crowded streets of the city, seeking refuge from his thoughts. As he walks, his gaze drifts to a man sitting alone on the sidewalk. The man is wrapped in a worn, tattered cloth, his face lined with age, yet his eyes are warm, tranquil, almost joyful. Nuru feels an inexplicable pull towards him. How can this man, who has so little, seem so at peace, while he, with all his wealth, feels so lost? Driven by curiosity, Nuru approaches the man and crouches beside him. What's your secret? He blurts out, the words surprising even himself. The man looks up, his eyes twinkling with gentle amusement. Secret? He repeats, a hint of laughter in his voice. There's no secret, my friend. Only peace. He introduces himself as Baba Kwasi, a name that feels ancient and wise, like the roots of a tree. Nuru is struck by the calm in Baba Kwasi's voice, a stillness that feels like water in a quiet lake. But how? Nuru presses, his desperation breaking through. How can you be content when you have so little? Baba Kwasi's smile deepens, as though he's listening to a question far beyond Nuru's words. Contentment is not measured by possessions, young man. It's about finding value in what you already have. He gazes up at the stars, his face illuminated by their soft glow. A heart at peace is richer than any pocket. Nuru sits there in silence, the noise of the city fading around him. For the first time in years, he feels a strange sense of connection, as though someone truly sees him. Baba Kwasi's words resonate in his chest, stirring something he's long buried. That night, Nuru lies awake, replaying the conversation in his mind. What if this man, this stranger with no material wealth, holds the key to the happiness he's been seeking? Unable to shake the encounter from his mind, Nuru returns to the street the next day, his heart pounding as he searches for Baba Kwasi. When he finds him seated in the same spot, he feels a rush of relief and excitement. Without hesitation, he sits down beside the elderly man. Baba Kwasi, I need your guidance, he begins, his voice filled with a sense of urgency he can't fully explain. Baba Kwasi raises an eyebrow, his gaze curious but calm. Guidance? And what do you think I can teach you? He asks, a gentle smile playing at his lips. Nuru hesitates, feeling a flicker of doubt. Here he is, a billionaire, asking a homeless man for wisdom. But there's something about Baba Kwasi's presence that reassures him. I don't know, he admits, his voice soft. But I know that whatever I'm doing now, it isn't enough. I want to know how to find real happiness, something money can't buy. Baba Kwasi watches him for a long moment, then nods slowly. Very well, he says, but if I am to guide you, you must follow my words without question. Even when my advice feels strange or difficult, you must promise to do exactly as I say. Nuru swallows, realizing the weight of his commitment. I promise, he says, his voice steady. Little does he know that Baba Kwasi's teachings will take him down a path that will challenge everything he thought he knew, opening doors he never imagined. The next morning, Baba Kwasi gives Nuru his first task. Go to the marketplace, he instructs, but don't buy anything, don't talk, just listen. Nuru frowns, finding the task absurd. Listen? That's it? He asks, bewildered. Baba Kwasi only nods, his expression unchanging. Reluctantly, Nuru heads to the market, his mind filled with skepticism. As he walks through the bustling stalls, he hears snippets of conversation. The laughter of children, the bartering of merchants, the haggling of customers. He listens to a vendor passionately describing her handmade baskets, a man telling his friend about his family struggles, a young girl sharing her dreams. For the first time, Nuru begins to notice the richness of life around him. Each voice is filled with stories, emotions, dreams, and hardships. The noise of the marketplace fades into a symphony of humanity, something he's never taken the time to truly hear. When he returns to Baba Kwasi, he's quiet, his heart stirred in a way he can't explain. What did you hear? Baba Kwasi asks, his eyes twinkling with knowledge. Life, Nuru replies softly, understanding the lesson Baba Kwasi intended. I heard life. Baba Kwasi nods. To live fully, one must first learn to listen. Only then can you understand the world beyond your own desires. Baba Kwasi's next instruction surprises Nuru. Each night, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Nuru finds the exercise simple, even strange. In his mind, gratitude is a small thing. He'd never thought it could bring fulfillment. Still, he agreed to follow Baba Kwasi's every word, so he opens a blank journal and begins. The first few nights, his lists are shallow. His wealth, his health, his home. But as the days pass, he starts to notice details he's overlooked. The comfort of a warm meal, the laughter of children in the street, the kindness of his assistant, Kofi, who has served him loyally for years. Nuru begins to realize that his wealth, impressive though it is, has blinded him to life's simple joys. One night he writes, I am grateful for Baba Kwasi. The words surprise him. Despite his initial doubts, he feels a deepening respect for the old man. Baba Kwasi has a way of revealing truths that seem small, yet echo profoundly within Nuru. As the week progresses, he notices a lightness in his heart, as if layers of worry are peeling away. The emptiness he once felt starts to fill with appreciation. When he meets Baba Kwasi again, Nuru says, I never thought something as simple as gratitude could change so much. My whole life feels different. Baba Kwasi smiles. Gratitude is not just a list. It's a doorway to life itself. When you learn to be thankful, you find that life has already given you more than you realized. Nuru nods, humbled by the wisdom. He begins to understand that true wealth isn't measured by possessions, but by the heart's capacity to recognize life's quiet gifts. One afternoon, Baba Kwasi leads Nuru to an abandoned, run-down building on the outskirts of town. The windows are shattered, the walls are covered in graffiti, and the silence feels almost menacing. Nuru feels a chill run down his spine. Go inside, Baba Kwasi says softly, his voice steady. Nuru's heart pounds. Why? What's in there? Baba Kwasi's gaze is unyielding. Your fears. Go inside and face them. Swallowing hard, Nuru steps toward the building, each step feeling heavier than the last. The door creaks as he pushes it open, and shadows greet him, stretching across the dusty floor. Every sound, every shadow seems amplified, each creak sending his heart racing. As he walks deeper inside, memories surface, moments of failure, of betrayal, of vulnerability. He remembers the fear he felt as a young man trying to build his business, the fear of disappointing his parents, the fear of losing everything. He realizes that these fears have haunted him for years, hidden beneath his success but never truly faced. After what feels like an eternity, he emerges back into the sunlight, his heart pounding but lighter, his mind clear. Baba Kwasi nods approvingly. Fear is not an enemy, Nuru. It is a teacher. Only by facing it can we truly understand ourselves. Nuru stands silent, his chest swelling with a newfound courage. He feels as though he's shed a layer of himself, left something behind in that dark, empty building. He understands now that facing fear is a journey inward, a journey that brings him closer to who he truly is. A few days later, Baba Kwasi hands Nuru a small mirror, its surface scratched and worn. "Look into this," he instructs. "Look deeply and tell me what you see." Nuru stares into the mirror, expecting to see only his reflection. But as he looks closer, he begins to see beyond the surface. He sees his own face, but it's more than just skin and features. He sees the man he's become, a man driven by ambition, yes, but also a man haunted by loneliness and regret. For the first time, Nuru notices the exhaustion in his own eyes, the weight of years spent in pursuit of wealth. He sees the toll his success has taken, not just on his health, but on his soul. He sees the person he's hidden behind power and money, a person who's lost touch with what truly matters. Baba Kwasi's voice breaks the silence. To find your way forward, you must first understand where you are. The mirror doesn't lie, Nuru. It reflects not only what is seen, but what is felt. Nuru feels a lump in his throat. He realizes he's been hiding from himself, running from his own vulnerability, masking it with riches. The mirror forces him to confront this truth, and it hurts. Yet, he feels a strange sense of liberation. "Thank you, Baba Kwasi," he whispers, his voice thick with emotion. He understands now that self-acceptance is the foundation of true change. Only by seeing his flaws, his fears, his regrets can he begin to transform. For the next lesson, Baba Kwasi gives Nuru a seemingly simple task. Give away something valuable to you, something you cherish. Nuru frowns, confused. He has many expensive possessions, but what does he truly cherish? He thinks about his prized watch, a gift from his late father. Though it feels painful, he knows that giving it away is part of the lesson. After all, he's promised to follow Baba Kwasi's teachings without question. That afternoon, he sees a young boy selling fruits by the roadside. The boy's clothes are worn, his face sunburnt, yet his eyes are bright with hope. Nuru approaches him, slipping off the watch and handing it over. The boy stares in awe, his small hands trembling as he accepts it. "For me?" he asks, barely believing it. Nuru nods, and as he watches the boy's eyes light up with joy, he feels something shift within him. The act of giving, of letting go, brings a sense of fulfillment he's never known. Baba Kwasi's lesson becomes clear. True wealth is not in what one keeps, but in what one gives. Returning to Baba Kwasi, Nuru reflects on the experience. "I feel lighter," he admits, "as if I've let go of something more than just a watch." Baba Kwasi smiles knowingly. Humility is the root of fulfillment, Nuru. When we learn to give, we make room in our hearts for joy. Nuru nods, deeply moved. He realizes that giving without expecting anything in return brings him closer to the peace he's been searching for. One quiet evening, as they sit by the street, Baba Kwasi turns to Nuru. "I wasn't always like this," he begins, his voice tinged with memories. "I once had wealth, power, a family. I was proud, so proud, that I couldn't see the fall coming." Nuru listens, captivated as Baba Kwasi recounts his past. A successful businessman, respected and admired. But pride clouded his vision, leading him to take risks that cost him everything. He lost his fortune, his family, his friends. The once celebrated man became a forgotten figure, reduced to wandering the streets. Nuru feels a pang of shock. This man, who he thought had nothing, had once been like him. Baba Kwasi's story feels like a warning, a reminder that success can vanish in an instant, that true wealth isn't about status or money, but humility and kindness. "It took losing everything to see clearly," Baba Kwasi concludes, his voice steady. "Sometimes we have to be broken to rebuild." Nuru is left speechless, the weight of Baba Kwasi's words pressing on his heart. He understands now that humility is the foundation of resilience. Without it, his wealth is as fragile as a leaf in the wind. With Baba Kwasi's guidance, Nuru decides to use his wealth differently. Instead of focusing solely on profits, he begins to invest in community projects. He funds scholarships for underprivileged children, supports local artisans, and sponsors young entrepreneurs. For the first time, he feels a sense of purpose beyond his personal gain. As he sees lives being changed, Nuru feels a deep, fulfilling joy. The hollow ache in his heart begins to fade, replaced by a sense of connection to the world around him. He's no longer just a businessman, he's a force for good, a beacon of hope. When he meets Baba Kwasi, he says, "I feel like I'm finally doing something meaningful." Baba Kwasi nods approvingly. "Wealth is a gift, Nuru, but only when shared. True happiness lies not in what we accumulate, but in what we give back." Nuru realizes that this journey has transformed him, that he has found a new path, one built on compassion and service. As the sun rises over Accra, one quiet morning, Nuru sets out to meet Baba Kwasi as he has for the past few months. Today feels different, though he can't put his finger on why. When he reaches Baba Kwasi's usual spot, the space is empty. There is no trace of the old man's comforting presence, no trace of the wise eyes that had guided him through his transformation. A pang of worry grips Nuru's heart. He searches the nearby streets, asking shopkeepers and passers-by if they've seen Baba Kwasi, but no one has answers. Just as he's about to give up, he notices a small piece of paper lodged between the stones in the wall where they used to sit. His heart races as he pulls it out, unfolding it with trembling hands. The note, written in Baba Kwasi's careful handwriting, reads, "Thank you, Nuru, for allowing me to share my wisdom once more. My journey with you is complete. Remember what you've learned and live with courage and kindness." Nuru feels a wave of emotion, a mix of gratitude, sadness, and love for the man who changed his life. He clutches the note, understanding that Baba Kwasi has moved on, perhaps to help another lost soul find their way. A tear slips down his cheek as he realizes the depth of their connection and the impact Baba Kwasi's teachings have had on his life. Though the old man is gone, Nuru feels his presence more than ever, like a gentle whisper in his heart, urging him to continue the path they've walked together. Returning to his office, Nuru sits in silence, reflecting on his journey. Baba Kwasi's words echo in his mind, guiding him forward. He decides to honour his mentor by dedicating his life to sharing the wisdom he's gained, hoping to touch others the way Baba Kwasi touched him. Years pass, and Nuru's work becomes legendary across Ghana and beyond. He establishes the Kwasi Foundation, dedicated to supporting communities, providing education for underprivileged children, and empowering young entrepreneurs. His wealth, once a source of isolation, has now become a bridge, connecting him with the people he once felt so distant from. His foundation sponsors schools, funds health clinics, and offers scholarships, transforming lives in ways he once thought impossible. People across the country speak of Nuru not just as a businessman, but as a compassionate leader. His story spreads, inspiring others to follow his example. Young people look up to him, not for his wealth, but for his heart. His legacy is no longer just buildings or businesses, but a profound, positive impact on the lives of countless individuals. Nuru's transformation becomes a tale told in Accra, a story of a man who found true wealth in kindness and giving. One evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, Nuru, now an old man with silver in his hair, sits alone in his garden. He looks up at the stars, remembering the night he first met Baba Kwasi, and a smile touches his lips. The journey that began with a stranger on a street corner has reshaped his life and, in turn, the lives of so many others. He feels an overwhelming peace, a quiet contentment, knowing he has honoured Baba Kwasi's teachings. In that moment, he whispers to the night, "Thank you, Baba Kwasi. Your wisdom lives on not only in me, but in every life you help change." And as he closes his eyes, he feels Baba Kwasi's presence, a warm and gentle reminder that the true measure of wealth lies in the legacy we leave behind. A legacy built on kindness, courage, and love. If you enjoyed this story of transformation and kindness, consider subscribing to our channel for more inspiring tales that bring warmth, meaning, and perspective to every day. By subscribing, you'll stay connected to each new story as it unfolds and be part of a community that values uplifting narratives. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to like the video and share what resonated with you in the comments. Join us on this journey, and let's keep sharing stories that inspire.